the representative of the governor of the Central Region, the representative of the government delegate to the Yaoundé City Council, the councillor, the advisor of the Minister of Employment of the Republic of Congo, representatives of trade union organizations and companies here present, administrators of the National Employment Fund, dear colleagues, dear employment family, we have come to the end of this Yaoundé meeting that comprised two events: the 20 years of our African Association, that was marked by a high level discussion on the pertinence of our public employment services in the fight that we carry out against unemployment with our government. And secondly, we had the regional workshop of WAPES on the issue of migration related to our youth who don't find jobs in their own countries and who are obliged to leave. In my opening address, I pop in my welcome statement, in my welcome address, I noted, given the many experts that you are, I presumed that these two events would attain the targeted objectives, and I don't think that I was mistaken. In any case, I am personally happy that over the past 3 days, I'm happy for what we have realized over the past 3 days. I I've just benefited from new sons, they know themselves, and even a grandchild, he knows himself. Without counting the very good relationships that I have not noted with people I was seeing for the first time, and the former and new relations that strengthened. We got there thanks to all of us, but thanks to our head of state, President Paul Biya of Cameroon, and his government. I will seize this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation. Thank you. Thanks to all those who brought their contribution to the organization of this meeting. A special thanks to the Minister of Employment and Vocational Training of Mali, who traveled to Yaoundé despite his tight schedule. Special thanks to the President of WAPES and his team. I was a witness as they worked tirelessly for over a year for the holding of this encounter. I want to thank the Executive Secretary who is coming to Cameroon for her very first time. I hope, Madam, that you spent a pleasant moment and that you measure the willingness of the Directors Generals of African PSCs to do more and to be more performant. Thank you, dear colleagues, Directors General. Thank you for coming out in your numbers to discuss on to chart the way forward on the functioning of our structures. Thank you for coming to brainstorm on the way we can be more efficient by our government. For those who are traveling at the end of this closing ceremony, I wish you a safe return to your families, and I wish you luck and success in your future endeavors. As for the others who stay a few more days, I suggest that you make maximum use of this beautiful city, the Yaoundé, the city of seven hills. Ladies and gentlemen, our governments are counting on us for the fight they are carrying out against unemployment and especially youth unemployment. It is through these activities and resolutions implemented that we will not disappoint them, and therefore they will continue to support us and strengthen us. I wish you all the best, and to our structures, thank you for your kind attention.
For the second item on the agenda of this closing ceremony, we have the word of Mrs. Eve Marie Mosseret, the Executive Secretary of the World Association of Public Employment Services. Madame, you have the floor.
The advisor of the Minister of State, Minister of Employment and Vocational Training, representative of the Yaoundé City Council President, the Honorary President of WAPES, the President of ASEP and Vice President of WAPES, Directors General of Public Employment Services, members of WAPES, ladies and gentlemen, all protocol respected. Our Yaoundé meeting has met has met the outcomes expected. However, we have not solved the problem of youth unemployment and migration, but we are going back with information, updated information, and experience shared successfully borne by PESs of the Africa region, of the Middle East area, and the European area. Depending on your realities, I have no doubt that you find ways to implement them. Following the enlightened advice of our elder, we need to start a new project. Every meeting of WAPES is the framework to establish new contacts or start new collaborations. And I dare to hope that participants for whom this meeting was a first are convinced about this. I would like to thank you, dear participants, all the speakers, the moderators. I would like to thank Mr. Mute Abidias and Mr. Aknok for your willingness and the success in the realization of this double event, the 20 years of ASEP and the Conference of the Africa region. I want to thank the entire organizing team, to which, including the interpreters of this event. You have been working for many months now, and your work has finally come to an end. However, you'll find videos of presentations and various documents and traces of our discussions very soon on WAPES's website. I'd like to thank Pierre Alain for producing. She is in Brussels, but I am sure that many people benefited from her diligence. My sincere gratitude to Rilkin Tero, and I'd like to thank Jacqueline as well. Thank you for facing this challenge. Thank you for accompanying this beautiful project. This was my first time to Cameroon. I am sure it will definitely not be the last. Thank you. Thank you for your warm welcome.
Mesdames et messieurs, l'ultime arrêt.
Now we've come to the final bus stop for the last statement of this international statement. The closing ceremony speech of Mr. Ibrahim Aknok, President of the African Association of Public Employment Services. Mr. President, if you don't find, if you agree with me, then the audience is up to you. Thank you, Mr. Master of Ceremony. The representative of the Governor of the Central Region, the representative of the government delegates to the Yaoundé City Council, administrators of the National Employment Fund, the honorary president of WAPES and ASEP, dear Kami Mutea Bidias, Director General of National Employment Fund, Executive Secretary of WAPES, Directors General here represented, the advisor to the Minister of State, Minister of Employment of DRC, representative of trade union organizations, dear participants, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to start by thanking the joint team, WAPES, ASEP, in organizing this double event. I would like you to give them a round of applause, please. It is a tripartite team that worked tirelessly so that this event should hold, and we are very happy at ASEP, starting with the driver, the hostesses, the AMSEP team, the experts of ANP, those of National Employment Fund who received them, drove them. I am not forgetting anyone. On behalf of the African Association of Public Service, I say thank you. We have come to the end of our 3-day seminar in the Yaoundé Monfebe Hotel, whose opening was marked by the opening statement of the Minister of Employment and Vocational Training of Mali. At the end of the International Conference of WAPES on the theme Youth Employment, what challenges and opportunities for PESs, and the celebration of the 20 years of ASEP, may I reiterate my sincere gratitude to Cameroon and its government and His Excellency President Paul Biya, President of the Republic, for accepting to host this double event in this beautiful city of Yaoundé. Please, a round of applause. We equally want to thank the Executive Committee of WAPES, its President Mr. Abdelami, who is here represented by Ms. Eve Marie Mousserai, Executive Secretary, for all the support and unfailing support that they gave us. We want to thank the representative of international organizations, business owners, trade union representatives, employers who actively participated in this session, thereby demonstrating the importance of government participation to job creation. Ladies and gentlemen, may I express my gratitude to the National Employment Fund of Cameroon and to its Director General, Mr. Mute Abidias Kamei, for the professionalism and expertise with which the entire organization process was carried out. Indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it is an open secret that the challenge was huge. because of the delocalization of the activity and the limited resources. But I stay convinced and I hope that you notice with me that the essential was done. I will therefore seize the opportunity to wish you to express my satisfaction for the level of presentations throughout the presentations, and this enabled fruitful discussions, which is a sign of brighter futures, a brighter future for us. Ladies and gentlemen, dear participants, this international conference would be written it with gold letters because it was a privileged moment during which African state PSs, members of WAPES and partners had institutional analysis, discussed issues on employment, youth, and migration in in the various geographical areas. So we discussed the pertinence of the mission of PSCs, the issues of youth unemployment in the world, in Africa in particular, and in the context of globalization, the issues on professional migration under the sub-theme that we've discussed. We are happy that all these preoccupations were addressed and strong recommendations were made. On behalf of ASEP, I'd like to assure you that these recommendations will draw our attention, catch our attention, especially in the elaboration of future advocacy to government, international and sub-regional institutions for support, greater support and support to PSs. These recommendations, as the General Rapporteur said a while ago, will be a term of reference in WAPES so that we can be able to face the challenges that PSs face. At this state, our states must consider employment as the bedrock of all social policies. It must become a priority thrust of all our strategies to fight against poverty. The Executive Bureau would carry out with so much determination this advocacy by our states and technical and financial partners. To do so, the recommendations of these three working days will be for our team orientations for our future actions during our term at the head of the regional association. That is to say, through the three-year action plan adopted in Bamako in 2019, our SEP will spare no effort to give efficiency and efficacy to our actions in perfect partner coherence with the long-term strategy 2018-2021 strategy of AMSEP. We count therefore on the calendar of each and everyone to go to the office of WAPES in Bamako to make to propose projects per region, and that these projects would really show proof in terms of implementation, advocacy with our technical and financial partners, and in terms of south-south financing. Dear participants, ladies and gentlemen, to end my statement, I would like to thank you all for your massive presence in this conference and the celebration of the 20 years of ASEP, and for your useful contributions. And having made this encounter a total success, I would like to salute you all and tell you that WAPES is will be grateful to you all. I wish you a safe return to your countries and families. On that score, I declare closed the working session of the International Conference on Employment, Youth and Migration, What Challenges for PSCs, and the celebration of the 20 years anniversary of ASEP. See you. We look forward to the next 20 years in a peaceful social climate, facing challenges within the framework of challenges of employment. Long live ASEP, long live WAPES, long live international cooperation. Thank you for your kind attention.